Ever stop to think how much those little impulse buys on your phone are adding up to, and how many subscription payments are sneaking out of your bank account every single month? Before I started using Rocket Money, let me tell you, I had no idea. But the first time I logged in, I saved $435. I couldn't believe it. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. I just love the dashboard. It shows everything in one place, even the subscriptions you forgot you signed up for. And if there's something you don't need, Rocket Money helps you cancel it. Plus, it alerts you if a bill increases or if something unusual pops up in your account. It's basically like having a personal assistant for your money. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Kim today. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. But wait, there's more. Here's hour 4 of the Kim Komando Show. You know, I read this over, I think it was on the BBC website, and I thought, wow, this is really fascinating. I should share this with my friends on the show. I want you to look up at the sky tonight. Just look up at the sky, and I want you to remember this, that you are basically a time traveler. You see, every star you see with your naked eye is within about 4,000 light years from Earth. So you're seeing them as they were up there up to 4,000 years ago, right around the time that the pyramids were being put up in Egypt. So just your eyes, a clear night, and nothing too serious like a telescope is needed. Oh, I know. However, does she do it time and time again? Because after all, I'm Kim Komando. I'm your beloved digital goddess, designed a show especially to make sure that you're always tech ahead and you're never left tech behind. You can find this best show, the award-winning show, the highest rated show, the most trusted show on more than 425 stations across the U.S., streaming anytime, anywhere on your favorite radio app. Just search for Komando and you got me. Now, if podcasts are more your vibe, I'm there too. Just open your favorite podcast app and just search for my last name, Komando. But for the full experience, you can actually watch the show over at youtube.com/Kim Komando. You see the episodes, how-tos, some smart tech advice you're not going to get anywhere else. And a heartfelt thank you goes out to the 375,000 U.S. service members who are tuning in from 175 countries and 200 ships at sea via the American Forces Network Radio. I'm just honored to be a small part of your day. Alrighty then, every single day I read so many different white papers. I talk to industry insiders. I go to all these different places on the web to make sure that I know exactly what's happening in the tech space. And here are 5 things you need to know about right now. And we're going to start about the rumors that were circulating after President Trump had not held any sort of news conference for 3 days. By Saturday of last week, hashtags such as "Where is Trump?" or "Trump is dead" began trending across most social media platforms, which of course, caused the rumors to spread even faster and even wider. But by late last Saturday morning, the president was actually seen leaving the White House, headed off to Trump National Golf Club in Virginia. So let me tell you, just a bottom line here. Social media has never, ever been a reliable place for news. And this is just a perfect example. Now, why did the rumor gain such traction when real news has never been more readily available? Okay. Here's the deal. We've entered a cycle of news avoidance. And I'm going to raise my hand because sometimes I'm like, I just can't stand any more news. 40% of us have stopped listening to news altogether, watching it or reading it. And so when a rumor like this pops up, the public is apt to fall for it every single time. So the next time you see something like this on social media, before you're like, oh my gosh, did you just hear the news? Maybe go to a real news source and fact check it first. Moving on to number 2, remember when Serial dropped and everyone was obsessed with podcasts? That was peak podcast gold, multi-episode investigation, months and months of reporting, amazing sound design. It felt like, gosh, this is like a movie for my ears. But I don't know if you've noticed, but these shows are disappearing. Serial Productions sold to the New York Times for $25 million. Wondering, the team behind Dr. Death went for a whopping $300 million to Amazon. And what's Amazon doing now? They're saying, quote unquote, restructuring. Over 100 folks laid off. Now, why is this all happening? Long-form storytelling doesn't pay like it used to. People just don't have the attention spans. So now what's happening is a talk show podcast. Yes, quick to produce, easy to edit, content clickable, it's monetized. So bottom line here is if your favorite true crime podcast isn't coming back for a new season, now that you know. All right, moving on to number 3. Let's say you're over on YouTube and you just watched a heated political rant. When it ends, the next video is a cat knocking over a glass or a little puppy. Not an accident. A new study from the University of Arkansas and Cornell found that the more you watch political debates, the more you're going to be suggested super sweet and funny stuff. That's right. They looked at nearly 700,000 YouTube shorts and the recommendations. They started with sensitive topics like Taiwan's 2024 election and the South China Sea, followed by 50 recommendations in a row. What happened was interesting. Political content faded super fast. Instead, people were steered toward food and pets and comedy and lifestyle clips. What they found is that political content, it just quickly faded. And to keep people engaged and for YouTube to make more money, they had to give happy stuff. Coming in at number 4, this story is out of Ohio. That's where 16-year-old Lindsay Leskovic was driving home late one night after dropping off a friend. She was tired behind the wheel. She didn't know what to do, and she actually just fell asleep. Her truck veered off the road, slammed into poles and trees before stopping near a body of water. Well, her car was crushed. It left her with broken legs, fractures to her spine and hips. She was only inches from death. She was trapped. She was unconscious. She couldn't call for help. But in that moment, something extraordinary happened. Her iPhone 14's crash detection feature automatically dialed 911. Dispatchers heard silence on the line and sent rescuers right to her. Now, she woke up. While they were on the line, she's recovering. And her family says if it wasn't for the iPhone, she wouldn't be alive. So just make sure on your phone, iPhone 12 or over, running iOS 18, go to Settings, tap Emergency SOS, and make sure that Call After Serious Crash is enabled. On your Android, turn on Car Crash Detection. And coming in at number 5, have you noticed that wherever you go for your fast food that we have these big touchscreen kiosks there? You might be wondering why. Shake Shack CEO says that kiosk orders average 10% higher. Well, because they're all built to upsell you. They're smart. They shift on what you see depending upon the season, the weather. If it's cold and rainy, hot chocolate shows up. In summer, ice cream is the top of the list. And it will suggest bacon, extra cheese, that double patty. Yeah, you just wanted a hamburger, but now you're coming out with a whole buffet. So just want to keep that in mind. But what is a pirate's favorite fast food restaurant? What is a pirate's favorite fast food restaurant? You ready? Long John Silver's. Wait, I bet you thought I was going to say Arby's. Yeah, I saw you smirk on that one. Let's see, still to come, we're going to talk about how you can find a lost remote the high-tech way, how to score free meals at fancy restaurants, and a secret AirPod spy tool, and of course, just the best callers ever. And you have me, Kim Komando, by your side. If you own a home, listen up. This is scary. The FBI is warning about a crime on the rise, home title theft. And it doesn't happen the way you might think. No break-ins, no stolen keys, just a forged signature on a single piece of paper filed with the county. In minutes, criminals can transfer the title out of your name, then use your ownership to drain your equity or even sell your home. The worst part, most people don't know what's happening until they get collection or foreclosure notices in the mail. That's why I trust Home Title Lock. When you visit HometitleLock.com/Kim, you'll get a free title history report and a 14-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, including 24/7 monitoring of your home's title, urgent alerts to changes, and if fraud does happen. Their U.S.-based restoration team will work to restore your title, covering costs up to $1 million. Don't wait. Protect your home and equity today. Get your free 14-day trial at HometitleLock.com/Kim. That's HometitleLock.com/Kim. Hey, it's your last chance to enter to win a brand new iPhone valued at $999. No purchase required. Go to winfromkim.com. Do it now while you're thinking about it. Winfromkim.com. It's absolutely the last chance to enter to win. winfromkim.com. Now, you will be automatically subscribed to my free newsletter, but you're going to love it. Has a 5 out of 5 star rating over Trustpilot and also Google reviews. And again, that's winfromkim.com. All right, let's get started with Linda in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi. Something weird happened to us a couple weeks ago. We were shopping at Walmart. My partner was shopping for kitchen knives. Okay. I was in a completely different part of the store. She called me up to say where she was in the store because, it's huge. And she said, I'm over here shopping for knives, and said, okay, cool. Just let me know when you're done. We hang up. Everything's fine. The very next day, she gets an email advertising kitchen knives. Totally out of the blue. Never received any type of email like that before. We're not chefs, anything like that. So my question to you is Walmart listening? Is Amazon listening? What's going on here?
Everybody's listening.
Everybody.
Oh, good. Thanks. I feel much better now.
Have a good weekend.
Hey, thanks for the call. Do you have the Walmart app on your phone or your partner's phone?
No.
Okay,
no.
well, because that would be one way they would be tied. When's the last time, Linda, that you actually installed an app and it said, do you agree to the terms and conditions? And you said, whoa, stop right there. Wait.
Yeah, right.
Put on a pot of coffee, honey.
Yeah,
we're going to read the terms and conditions.
This is going to be a great Friday night.
Next time I can't fall asleep, I'll read them, yes.
So it does it by it does it by a whole bunch of different means. It's not just one particular area. So using your smartphone location, something in your phone may be tracking the location. So it knows exactly where you are. And now let's throw in artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence knows exactly where you are in the store by location tracking. It's going to also tie that into Bluetooth, which is beacons. So you are actually being tracked everywhere you go within the store. So,
oh my gosh.
So it's not that unusual that you're looking at kitchen knives and then suddenly you get an email. So what can you do about it, right? You can turn off your location tracking, which is no fun at all. You can actually turn off the microphone. You can turn off Bluetooth when you're in the store. A lot of people recommend that. There are some people that take it to extreme, is that you can go on Amazon and you can buy a Faraday bag, an RFID bag, one of those. And then when you go in a store, you drop your phone in the bag. And then when you leave, but then you're not going to get any phone calls, texts, or anything like that.
Right. She wouldn't have gotten the call from her partner saying, I'm shopping for knives across the store.
So that's when you get on the PA speaker. And you say,
I'm lost. Can you find me? Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't know where I'm located.
Now, I've read that they sell your information, including your location, as fast as every 5 seconds.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
So does it know me? Does it know me personally? Can they steal my identity doing all this stuff? Like, how freaked out should I be? Does something like Incogni, which we subscribe to because of you, does something like that help?
Yes, because you will be removed from the data broker sites and the people search sites, so that when they are collecting information, when it hits Linda in Atlanta, it'll say, Linda's 5'8", she's 120 pounds. She's got long blonde hair.
Loves knives.
Loves knives on a Friday night. So you don't have to worry about identity theft, but it will cut down on the number of data points that get interconnected. Like, for example, everybody thinks that Facebook is listening because now when you go on Facebook, you're going to see all these ads for knives as well. But, Consumer Reports did a study, and they found that Facebook does not have to listen, because they're buying all your data from over 42,000 different sources.
Wow. Yep.
So as we move along and we get more interconnected and that we have AI built into the mix even further, you're going to see that these instances of all these connections happening are just going to be increasing and increasing, because there's no laws to stop it. There's no regulation. And they say that we opt in all the time whenever we open an app. We turn on our phone.
When you subscribe to Netflix, it's like you have to give a kidney to someone who works for Netflix. Like, these terms and conditions are ridiculous.
They are, but nobody reads them.
I actually have an uncle that reads them all.
Does he?
Yeah.
Does he
single? That's a shock.
I should say, does it get out much?
Definitely single.
All right, we have time for another call. Victor in Tucson, Arizona. Hi there, Victor.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Great. What's going on in your world?
So been listening to your show for a while. I'm pretty amazed at how you're able to keep up with all the changes that are going on, but I guess it takes a full-time job like yours to do that. So recently I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who lives in Cave Creek, not too far from Phoenix, and he brought to my attention his concern about the two-code authentication method that is used for financial institutions when logging in, where you put in your password and then you get a text message with a number.
Mm-hmm.
The concern is that hackers can access in some way your phone or your computer and are able to access that code and then get into your account. I was concerned about that because I help some people with their financials as well as my own. And when I did review some information on that, and it is true that this is becoming an issue. So there is a new item for authentication called the passkey authentication, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, which is a little kludgy at this time. But
it doesn't always work across the board. And you know what you're talking about are the two-factor authentication codes. And you're absolutely right. I mean, somebody gets a hold of your phone through a SIM swap, and that's a big scam. And basically they call a carrier and they convince them that it's you. And they say, oh, I got a new phone. Can you activate the SIM card over here? And then suddenly you can't make any outgoing calls. You're not getting any text messages or anything because hackers have taken over your phone. And so the whole idea, what your friend's saying, is that if somebody does a SIM swap and they get a hold of your phone and then they are automatically getting the two-factor authentication codes without even having your phone, is that they can then have access to your banking account. So there are some precautions you can do. Number one is you call your carrier and you put a special PIN on your phone so that if somebody calls and says, I have a new phone, is that that person would have to provide your special PIN number, okay? And number two is you had to have it sent by email, but then what if the hacker's also in your email? Okay, so that's
Correct.
That's where authenticator apps come in. Like I use Google Authenticator app. Have you ever used an authenticator app, Andrew?
Yeah, I have to do it daily.
Daily?
For access to emails and a couple of other things I log into.
It's not hard.
No, it's the same thing. It's the same steps as getting the text message. It's just a different way of getting it.
Yeah, and there are different authenticator apps out there. There's Google, there's Microsoft, there's Authy. I like to use big names, especially when it comes to security. So that's why I use the Google Authenticator app. And so, a couple of steps, as I mentioned, is that you want to call your provider, put the PIN number on it, and then instead of using two-factor authentication, you use an authenticator app. Victor, thanks for your call. All right, so let's say you lose the remote. If you have a smart TV or a streaming stick like Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV, there's that little voice button on the remote. You really should start using it. Okay, you say, show me action movies, open YouTube, fast forward 3 minutes. And if you've lost the remote, you can actually say, hey, Roku, hey, Fire TV remote, where are you? Or where's the remote? This is the fun part. The remote will literally ping itself with a chime until you find it. Yeah, that's pretty amazing high-tech stuff right there. Let's see. We're going to talk about how you can scan your phone for spyware. Maybe you think somebody's actually listening in. They're getting copies of all your text messages. Well, is it you or is it them? That answer coming up here on the Kim Komando Show.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you ever get the feeling that someone knows too much about what you're doing online? Like they're reading your texts or they're watching what you search? It may not just be all in your head. It may not be some faceless hacker. Normally, if this happens, it's someone close to you, and they're using something called spyware. Now, spyware is like a keylogger. It can be installed in minutes, and it runs silently in the background, logging every text, every password, every private moment. But there are signs that you have spyware on your device. So like maybe apps open on their own. The battery's draining faster than usual. Your data usage spikes. You have some weird autocorrects. Strange charges start popping up on your bill. Your phone is hot to the touch. All this adds up. Now, if any of this hits close to home, don't brush it off. You need to trust your instincts, back up your files. Then you need to factory reset your phone completely. I know, it's not fun. Change every password, but always remember, there's a reason you checked in the first place. Let's see who's up next. Paul in Hendersonville, Nevada. What's on your mind today, Paul?
Right. Okay, so I'm hoping that we can find a solution that kind of makes me maybe a little bit of a better person, maybe seem a little smarter. The problem I have is when you talk, when I contact friends, family, sometimes you forget the last time they talked to you, right? Or maybe something that's important.
Okay.
I just talked to a friend of mine. I totally forgot they were having surgery. So, I'm calling them and I'm thinking I'm just going to say hi and, they're kind of recovering from surgery. And they said, I can't believe you forgot I even mentioned this. So what I'm looking for is something in the way of a contact management system. That I think is contact management.
Okay.
I use Google and I have my contacts there. And I use that calendar and I use the task manager. And I'm trying to figure out, and I'm right now I've got, I'm going to say, a ton of, I think they're called labels, that I'm trying to use to either remind me to call people back, or I try to put the little notes in the notes field. But it's a little tricky to kind of bring that up.
Okay, so you're looking for a way so that if you're going to be calling your friend Bob, and
right.
you call Bob up and say, hey, the club looks pretty good this weekend. There's going to be some hotties there. You want to go? And Bob says, I can't believe you asked me that, Paul. I'm sitting here in the hospital. And you're like, oh,
right.
I'm not that good of a friend, am I?
Right.
How about if I bring the girls to you?
Now that's a good friend.
Yeah.
And it goes with birthdays, and a lot of times you talk to someone and they give you a lot of information, and it's funny. I remember my mother. She could keep track of everybody's birthday, all their kids' birthdays. I don't think she had a book. She just had it in her head.
I think the difference between you and your mom, Paul, is she cared.
Oh, ouch.
Doesn't sound like, no.
So therein lies what I'm looking to fix.
All right. So here's the deal. Apple, Android, which one?
Android.
Okay. I guess we'll talk to you anyway. Don't come tease.
Step one, get an iPhone.
Step two.
You won't have any friends if you continue to use the Android, so it won't matter.
You're still
I
the
do
green
have a
bubble.
Pixel. I have a Pixel. I'm all in on Google. I even with a Pixel.
All right. That's okay. They're tracking everything. Is that there's a little app called Dex, D-E-X, and it's a couple bucks a month. Yeah, DEX. And it works great with Google Contacts and the whole Google ecosystem. But it allows you to track birthdays, and you can put notes. In case you're wondering, my birthday is July 1st.
Okay.
Size small. Just 4.
She just lost her job. You got to get her a nice gift.
I just lost my job. Did you hear me talking about that? I just lost my job. I'm busted over here.
I did.
I mean, $50 a week. I still can't believe I did that twice a week for them for $50 a week. You know why I did it? You want to know why I did it, Paul and Andrew? Is because they used to let me put in links back to commando.com.
Yeah, it was advertising.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
But then they started cutting all that out, and then I was like, I need to look elsewhere. So that's when I went over to the Daily Mail.
If anyone's listening and you use an iPhone, I highly recommend the Reminders app.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Since the new iPhones came out, the 16 came out, I think Siri is night and day better. And Siri combined with Reminders, it would solve all of Paul's problems.
And then also, if you send somebody a birthday text, it says, oh, is it Andrew's birthday? Would you like to update the record? And you're like, yes, I would. Thank you.
Absolutely, I would.
Yes. So you can solve all this. Okay. And then you know what's happening right now, Andrew, is that somebody's sending me a note right now saying, that's because Apple's an advertiser.
Oh, yeah. Can you do the Apple commercial right now, Kim?
If anybody in Cupertino is listening, we would love to have you on board. Apple has never spent a dime here.
Not one dime?
No, and they don't even give freebies.
I know that's true too. You have to buy all the iPhones that you test.
If you don't like Dex, there's another one called Cove, and that's Covve. Covve. That's Dex and Cove if you're on Android. All right, I'm sure you've heard of mystery shoppers, but didn't you know about mystery diners? That's right, you can get paid to eat out at nice and expensive restaurants. You get these meals for free. Well, there is a catch. I'll tell you about that in a second. Sites like iSpy CC, Market Force, and Second to None, they recruit everyday folks to dine at restaurants and then provide feedback in return. So here's how it works. You receive an assignment that includes a gift certificate for a restaurant. That's how you're going to pay for your meal. It's usually enough for 2 people. And while you're there, you snap photos of the food. Afterwards, you complete a questionnaire about the whole experience. The more expensive the meal is, let me tell you, the longer the report will be. I spoke with a guy who said he has saved over $40,000 in groceries doing this. So in case you want to try it out, here are the 3 sites: iSpy CC, Market Force, or secondtonone.com. Let's see, still to come, we have more of your phone calls as well as later on. It's a secret AirPod spy tool. Yeah, I'm going to pass that along. You might want to use it, but you also want to look out for it here on The Kim Komando Show.
Running a business comes with a lot of what ifs, but luckily there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
All right, let's see. Back to the phones we go. Lynn in Yakima, Washington. Hello there, Lynn.
Well, first of all, really appreciate being able to tap into your brain trust there.
Ooh.
And have a couple of questions so that you know you're talking to an antique that did his first programming on a Commodore 64 to do a accounts receivable for a business, but have moved up a little since then. About 25 years ago, when the McAllister Museum of Aviation started, and I was really involved with it, I used to do a newsletter. And the 2 tools that I used Microsoft Word for some of it, but a lot of it was done on a Printmaster publishing suite, which I found very intuitive.
Oh, you're fancy. You were going fancy.
Yeah.
Okay. But we can't go over 25 years of history. So where are you at today?
Yep. Well, now I've got a Windows 11 computer, and of course none of that would work, and so I bought the V9 Printmaster version and found it very clunky. It doesn't have a lot of artwork, etc. And I'm trying not to get into the subscription. And
now, are these newsletters that you're actually printing out? Or are we going to actually get you into email? Oh, we're printing them out.
Printing them out. They did them on email, and I'm again old school, and for a couple of reasons. One is I found talking to a lot of people that some of these newsletters that people get, they're getting so inundated on their emails that they just click through them and they don't read them.
Some people, you know what? It's okay if you like to have a whole printed copy, but I'm all for email marketing, that's for sure. But we're running a little short of time here. So let me just tell you, the program that you want to check out is called Scribus, Scribus. And there's also Affinity Publisher too. So those would be 2 programs that if you still want to make a newsletter, like a brochure, actually mail it, hand it out, 2 things for you to check out. And thanks for your call today, Lynn. And let's see. Next we have Bud in Louisiana. Hi, Bud.
Hey, how you doing, Kim?
Wonderful.
I can't believe I'm actually talking to you. I've been a fan of yours since, I used to listen to you back as far back as 2011, and, of course, the newspaper before that.
Oh, the newspaper.
If anyone uses those anymore.
No, nobody does. But that's okay. That's all right. So what's on your mind?
Well, I thought I'd heard you a couple weeks ago on my way to work talking about an app, or I couldn't remember if it was a website where you can see what kind of maintenance was on your vehicle, done on your vehicle, the history of it. because I gave up trying to keep up with 6 or 7. My wife and I own a driving school. I gave up trying to keep an Excel sheet of all the different maintenance done on it few years ago. And and then I heard that. I was like, oh, that's great. That'll maybe make up for my shortcomings.
So a driving school. Boy, I've never spoken to anybody who owned a driving school before.
They all die of heart attacks. That's why.
So tell us a great story about what it's like to own a driving school.
Wow. Actually, my wife and I are both instructors and owners, and she had probably the funniest one ever just recently that I've ever heard of from a student. I mean, I've heard things like the oil pressure light on the car, and I asked the student, what's that light mean? Before we get moving the car, I want to make sure they know some about the car. Mm-hmm. And, of course, it means the oil pressure is low. You want to pull over shortly and shut off the car. But they kind of tilted their head and looked at it, and they said, I don't know, an upside-down turtle in the road ahead?
No.
No, I'm dead serious. And I went with it. I said, okay, so you have special sensors on your car that let you know that there's a turtle in the road, and said turtle is upside down, so... you now, and of course, I forget, he or she, whatever it was backing off it after that. They're like, oh, okay. But anyway, the best one I heard ever was just when my wife was with a student, and I forget what they were doing because she just gave me the back end of the story. But they were trying to, I guess, go straight to an intersection, mm-hmm. and the student said, "Where's the straight turn signal?"
No, the straight.
Where's the signal for going straight? Where's the turn signal for going straight? This is the new generation. Thanks to you, Kim. All the iPhone users.
Yeah. What's the emoji for going straight? What is that? That's nuts. Well, those are great.
It is never boring with the modern teen.
Well, what I may have been talking about is Carfax has something called Car Care, and it's for free.
Okay, Car Care.
Carfax Car Care, and you just plug in the VIN or the license plate number, and it'll help you track the service records. If any maintenance was done anywhere else, it should show up. And it also sends you reminders to rotate the tires or change the oil or anything like that. And it supports multiple cars. So you're in, that'd be pretty good. They also have an app called My Carfax. So you could also put that on your phone. There's paid stuff, but I don't think you need it just for 6 cars because you're not talking about some major fleet. But it is something that, it's important for you to keep track of the maintenance, of course. And again, that's Carfax Car Care. Carfax Car Care.
Does it tell you when the blinker fluid's running low?
It is.
Oh, excellent.
It is. Unless you own a BMW, because you never use BMW people. They never use their blinker.
Everyone hates BMW drivers. That's so funny.
Hey, just a quick reminder, if you ever want to be a guest here on the show and speak with me one-on-one, super easy to do. You don't have to sit on hold for hours like other folks. Come on. We can do much better than that. Head over to commando.com. That's Komando, commando.com. And in the top right-hand corner, there's a link that says Ask Kim. Now, let me tell you, insider secret, I read every single note that you send me there. I do personally. I know you're like, and there's going to be some smart, I'll go, oh, Kim, if you write this note, reply and let me know. Otherwise, I don't believe you. I don't reply, and I don't fall for those games. But if you'd like to be a caller here on the show, the easy and fun ways we can schedule you right in, go to commando.com. Once again, that's Komando.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Ask Kim. All right, still to come, there's a secret AirPods spy tool. We need those Mission Impossible music here on the show. I'm going to tell you all about it here on the Kim Komando Show. Now, I don't know if you've heard about George, but George is my newest, greatest employee. Well, not really employee, he's AI. And he hosts the Current AI podcast every Wednesday and Friday. George covers the biggest stories from my free newsletter. In case you want to give it a listen, wherever you get your podcast, just search for The Current or just search for Komando with a K. And I would love for you to give us a great 5-star review because that helps other people find the podcast a lot easier. If you ever see just a random iPhone sitting on a table there, it could actually be spying on you. A lot of people don't know this even exists, but AirPods have a feature called Live Listen. It's really designed to help people who are having trouble hearing. So you pair your AirPods with your iPhone or your iPad, you turn it on, and your phone becomes a live mic. It's totally helpful. But it also means that someone can do this: leave their phone in a room, walk away, and still hear everything that's being said from another room. There's no beeping, there's no alert, there's no light, and it's silent. It works up to 50 feet away. The audio quality is clear. So if someone wanted to eavesdrop on your private conversation at work, school, or at home, all they need is a pair of AirPods and just a little know-how. So if you see a random iPhone or iPad just sitting somewhere, doesn't belong, don't assume that you are alone. Once again, last chance for you to enter to win a brand new iPhone. Go now while you're thinking about it. Winfromkim.com. And that's the end of hour 4. But I'm sure in your podcast player, there are some shows that you haven't listened to. Come on, just fire up your podcast player and get more tech know-how, whether you're walking or on your commute or whatever you might be doing.
You know the words that dominate our news cycle.
Private equity keeps inventing
generative artificial intelligence.
tax on home.
America's chip fueled by market volatility.
bets on Fed rate cuts.
But do you truly understand how they impact your world and your wallet? In a world that skims the what, understand the why. Because context changes everything. Subscribe to learn more at Bloomberg.com, the global benchmark for business news.